Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, this video and this whole series that I've done is a little unique to my channel. I don't normally talk about wedding stuff. So I do, however, talk about clothing through the lens of versatility, minimalism, just modern, cool clothes that the everyday person wants to wear. So if you're into that, please stick around. Also, if you're into wedding stuff, obviously please still stick around. I have made a whole wedding playlist that shares all of the videos that I've created related to wedding stuff, whether that be wedding dresses, wedding accessories, wedding guest dresses. I made, I believe, 6 total, and I said that that was going to be my last one in my last video. However, I figured out a way to share kind of my collection of wedding pajamas with you all, because I'm not gonna lie, at first when my brain was going through that category, whether it be like lingerie, pajamas, like that whole thing, I was like, how do I share that without this turning into like an OnlyFans account? But then I realized actually most, if not all, of these things are relatively conservative, and if I just focus on pajamas and don't go too far into like the lingerie or anything, I actually think this will be a very helpful video for brides that are about to get married, or maybe your friend's about to get married and you're looking for gifts for a bridal shower or something. Or if you just love fancy, fun, cool pajamas, then this video is totally for you. So let's jump right in. I'm gonna start on the pricier end of things. These were the actual pajamas that I ended up wearing on my wedding weekend. So if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, just a little bit of an overview. My wedding took place in Puerto Escondido, and I had a little bit of like a, I wouldn't even call it a honeymoon, but I had my my friends and family, they're my fans. I have my friends and family with me in Mexico City for the week before the wedding, as well as in Puerto Escondido for the week of the wedding. So it was a little bit of a hybrid of like vacation and wedding. So I wore all of these pajamas / purchased all of these pajamas for either time in Mexico City or Puerto Escondido, hence all of the linen pajamas, and then the stuff that I actually wore for my wedding night / wedding weekend. I wanted it to be very special and a little more elevated and a little more formal. So I picked up a couple of things from JOURNELLE literally the day before I left for my trip. I purchased, I'm not gonna lie. I needed / wanted something for the wedding, but I was having a really hard time finding tasteful, more minimal kind of wedding pajamas. And so I looked online and I saw that JOURNELLE had great options, and not a lot of options, but some good options. And I ended up picking up this slip in the color cream. I felt like this was something that I could wear. I didn't want it to be something like just for the wedding night. I wanted it to be obviously something that I could wear on a regular basis and enjoy forever. So I picked up this, it's called the Charlotte Short Slip, and it was $290. It is 100% silk. So it is super, super dainty, and it just had all the little kind of wedding bits that I wanted. I'm not gonna lie, I don't actually love sleeping in a nightgown very much, and they have a longer version of this, which I also had my eye on. And I'm glad I didn't go for the longer version, because I definitely don't think I would wear that on a regular basis, but I really don't find myself grabbing for this that much, to be honest. I will be bringing it on my honeymoon, however, or my trip to Tokyo, which is my real honeymoon. And so I do have that, but it is a very just like special, cute little piece that I wanted. They also have a Charlotte short and a Charlotte camisole, which, to be perfectly honest, in retrospect, that is a style that I wear a lot more often. So I have some lower price options that are camisoles with shorts, but in general, I do just tend to like to wear 2 pieces to bed, because I'm a quite active sleeper. I move around a lot, so I find that dresses just kind of get like twisted around me. And then I ended up getting this matching robe, which is called the Celine Classic Robe. It is also 100% silk, and it was $350. So yeah, quite the investment. And I'm not gonna lie, this purchase I do regret a little bit. It is very short, I wish I would have gotten the longer version of this robe because the robe was so short that I actually didn't even feel that comfortable wearing it when I was getting ready for my wedding because my underwear was like hanging out. So my poor photographer, I was like, hold on, I'm gonna put on like a linen shirt because I look like a crazy person right now. So I'm not gonna lie, I really, and I think that's why I'm telling you that I panic purchase these things because I don't actually think they were the perfect things for me. I think the camisole and the shorts as well as a longer robe would have been much better options, which is always a little bit of a bummer because it was such an investment. But I'm happy that I had it because I still wanted something like wedding-y for the wedding day, but did just want to highlight this because these were the particular pieces from JOURNELLE that were my favorites in terms of wedding-esque pajamas and like a sweet little robe. Now, the next items I actually picked up from Mango, which is a little bit surprising because the last couple of pieces that I purchased from Mango, I was really disappointed in the quality of Mango. And I think maybe they got the picture because when I looked at Mango recently, a lot of their stuff actually was like back to being 100% silk, 100% wool. And I was blown away by some of their pajama sets because frankly, this is exactly what I was looking for. In my defense, this was not out before my wedding, so this wasn't really an option for me to purchase. And I will also say that it is not like a white, but I love the minimalism of this, like the silkiness of this. This is 100% silk, and this is exactly what I was looking for, is something that was like sexy and minimal, but still wearable. Again, I love that it's like a camisole with little shorts. It also comes with a pant, which I'm not gonna lie, I might actually end up picking up the pants as well because I just think these are so comfortable and really, really pretty. And I was just so pleasantly surprised by this stuff from Mango because not only was it the exact minimal design that I was looking for, but it was also 100% silk, which is kind of crazy. They also have linen nightgowns as well. And then I ended up picking up a silk nightgown in this exact same color and fabric, and bizarrely, that's where things got strange. So even though it was the exact same cut and style as the camisole, so that nice little slinky kind of minimal look at the top, I don't know who they fit the strings to fit, but I have an extremely long chest area and it was way too long on me. Like I'm holding it up in the video because it would just be falling off of me basically. And I got it in a size small. In fact, the other one I also got in a size small on both the top and the bottom because it only came in 3 sizes, a small, a medium, and a large. But the silk nightgown was $180 and I just think they made it wrong or something, frankly. So I ended up returning the nightgown. That was a huge fail, but I really love this set. This is the set that I was looking for my wedding. I would love it even more if they came with a matching robe. I do not think they do. But yeah, and I ended up picking up another little set from Mango, but I will get into that in a second when I talk about like the cotton and linen, more casual pajamas, because I also picked up another beautiful little camisole set from Zara. Again, I was pleasantly surprised that Zara had, again, exactly what I was looking for, just a little bit too late. But this, unfortunately, is not 100% silk. It is satin, and it is 100% polyester. However, I kind of love the durability of that because, again, I move around a lot in my sleep, but it still has these really dainty, gorgeous little lace bits to it. So I love that it is still minimal, but that it has like a little bit of lace. I love that it's kind of old-fashioned looking, and I think it looks way more expensive than it actually was. The camisole top was $49.90, and then I ended up getting the really sweet little matching shorts, and they were also $49.90. And again, the style is just very appealing to me. It is super comfortable. I love the sexy little lace on the side, but I love that it's like sexy and feminine, but not trying too hard. And that's exactly kind of what I was going for with all of these pieces. And in general, I think that's kind of my style, is like not trying too hard. But I also love the off-white color. They call it an oyster, but I love that it's not like a super stark white. Again, I think it's more practical. I think that it gives it kind of like a more vintage feel. And I think it's honestly just more flattering on the skin tone than like a really stark white, especially for the ladies that are a little paler out there. And then I am really striking out with the nightgowns, I'm not gonna lie, because I ended up picking up this little nightgown also from Zara that I thought would be a good option. And it would have been an incredible option if it was in this beautiful like light ivory oyster color. However, it was the color that really didn't do it for me. This slip dress was $80 and it's got like, again, sweet little nice little silk on it. It has adjustable straps. Again, it is satin. It is not, so it is 100% polyester. It's not silk or anything. And I like the little lace, but they call it vanilla, but this color is like a weird gold yellow color that I honestly just like wasn't a fan of. And again, I'm just not really that big of a fan of slip dresses in general, so I do think I will be returning this one. But the camisole sets from Zara and Mango knock it out of the park. And the other nice thing about Mango is I actually ended up getting those 30% off. They were having like a 30% off only like one day sale, and so I got a great price on those. And then at the same time, I ended up picking a more casual pair. I still think these are kind of feminine and fun and wedding in the sense that they're white, but these are just really cute for spring and summer. These are cotton pajamas that come in this little spaghetti strap top, and it does come in two colors. The other color is kind of like a ivory again, so if you didn't want to go stark white. But I love the little bow. I love like the low back and the ruching. And I kind of love the baby doll look of this. I think it's really comfortable looking. And I love that just like airy cotton. It is 100% cotton, which is fantastic. So I think this will be really comfortable and really nice to sleep in the spring, summer. And I just think it's very feminine, but kind of sweet. And again, came with cute little shorts as well. The top was $59.99 and I got them in a size small because it only came in 3 sizes. And then the shorts were $49.99. But again, I got 30% off on both of these. So I think a really great price. I think these are going to be really, really cute for spring, summer. I also like that I can still wear the silky white robe over all of this stuff, and I still think it looks really cute. So I don't think all is lost. I think I'm going to wear the robe more in the spring and summer. And then the final bits that I picked up were actually linen pajamas because I knew that I was going to be at the beach and I knew it was going to be super, super hot, and thank God I did. I ended up wearing this first pair in Mexico City because I had a little more coverage, but it was still pretty warm at night. And then the second pair I wore in Puerto Escondido when it was just like hot AF outside. So both of these pairs are from a brand called Sand and Stone. I had never ordered anything from them before, but I will say their linen is very nice and heavy. It's not like super soft, but it does get softer as you wear it. However, I do kind of prefer the Quince linen pajamas. However, they didn't make them in like a nice white color. So the first set, I got this really nice little top, and it does come in a set. However, you can get separate sizes for the top and the bottom, which is nice. They just call this the white linen pajama set. And it actually is currently on sale. Hopefully it still is by the time you see this. But this set was $158 for the top and the bottom. I love the kind of like fun shell top aspect of it, and then the long pants. And again, this is what I wore like every single night in Mexico City. It also comes in a couple of other different colors, which is nice. Again, though, I just love that like stark bridal white, and I think it's really nice for like a beachy vacation as well. And then I ended up getting the short set, which is called the same thing, white linen pajama set. But I got this short set for $104. It comes with this little sweet like camisole oversized top, and then just cute little linen shorts which was also great. Unfortunately, these don't have pockets. You guys know that's kind of a pet peeve of mine, but yeah, so I don't know. I love the minimalness of this brand, and I like the colors of their linen, and I think the quality of their linen is really good, and the price point's like fairly decent. So I would probably order something from this brand again, but in general, I think the Mango and Zara finds were probably my favorite. So yeah, that's why I wanted to share them with you all. But let me know, because I think it's pretty dire out there when it comes to trying to find cute, minimal pajamas and lingerie for weddings. I feel like it's either like really over the top or like really, really overly sexy, and there's nothing like in between in that kind of minimum. Like the row needs to come out with wedding and pajama lingerie and stuff if they're listening. So yeah, something like that. But I think Mango was like really, really surprising in both the quality, the materials, and the style. They knocked it out of the park in my opinion. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and let me know in the comments if you have a great brand that has like cool minimal pajamas and stuff, because I had a hard time with this one. I'm not gonna lie. All right, I'll see you all in my next video.